Hello again for the millionth time! I'm just kidding, this is only like my 200th video or something. Let's actually check what video I'm on. What? Okay, hold on, I'm only on video 50. Wait, this is video 50, that's kind of crazy. Hello and welcome back to the 50th time. My name is Val and today we're going to be talking about a subject. That's right, we're just going to be talking about coping. Hello and welcome back to another video in which we talk about something. As with the previous weeks, I'm going to be doing some sort of get ready with me process. And so today I've decided that I'm going to be doing my hair. Hey, listen. So I'm currently sitting here with my fully edited video and I'm like, girl, this is a problem. And I'll tell you why. I'll make this real quick. I know you have to watch the rest of this video, so I'm gonna make this real quick. So, it turned out, but but I didn't get the point across that I was trying to get across. So I think I'm going to literally take parts of this video that I already have made and then parts of me from the future, because right now we're in the future. I'm gonna splice them together and they're gonna be a video. It's all gonna be okay, you're gonna understand, it's gonna be continuous. Okay, ready? Here we go. And by the way, I'm gonna make it very clear that we're not in the same timeline because I feel like that would be weird, okay? So definitely the first thing that I want to touch on is why we cope. What causes us to want to cope? Well, obviously stress doesn't feel good for a lot of us, so it would only make sense for some of us problem solvers or people who enjoy being happy would seek out solving that stress and seeking to cope. All right, now let's go ahead and start touching on the second thing, the why of this video. Why am I talking about coping other than just that, like, I decided that I was going to? So recently I've been talking to a lot of people. I've become in contact with a lot of old friends, and I've even gone as far as to ask people, like, how are you coping with COVID-19? How are you coping with being at home now? For those of us who are in remote situations. And mostly what I have heard back from people has been things that I feel like are being advertised in the media to be good ways to cope with your stress. However, I'm not totally positive that they actually are. And I'm gonna explain this to you right now by going through some different ways that people choose to cope, some activities that people choose to engage in when they're coping. And I'll explain kind of my experience with those activities. So the very first one, exercise. That one's super common. If you look up on Pinterest, like stress relief, if you look that up literally anywhere, it will tell you, like, move your body, like exercise, mind, body, and spirit all contribute to your overall wellness. And so if your mind is out of balance, you know, like try to seek control in your overall health, and part of that is your body. And so for me personally, I found this an extremely terrible option for coping. When I try to release stress through exercise, when that's my goal, my brain just doesn't see a finish line. My brain doesn't recognize that exercise is supposed to end because I'm like waiting for this big release of happiness, of solution, and it doesn't happen. So I just keep exercising and I end up over exercising because I'm seeking some sort of like release of worries or resolution of worries. And exercise just doesn't give me that. It's just something that helps me pass the time. And I feel the same way about self-care, which is another super popular thing advertised in the media for coping. Things like face masks, baths, detoxes, drinking lemon water, like doing things that physically manifest and showcase that you are taking care of yourself. For me, those things take me to a certain point. Those things make me feel happy and they make me feel proud that I'm doing something good for myself. However, they don't give me a sense of relief and release of worry. In order for those things to be beneficial for me in the way that I like them to be beneficial for me and help me relax, I already need to be in a state of mind in which my worries aren't my biggest focus. And if you're in a time of crisis, like right now, it's kind of likely that your main focus isn't gonna be, you know, the peace of your mind and body. You may be lingering on some thoughts, you may be lingering on some worries, and so looking for resolution and for peace in things that are just helping you pass the time aren't effective. And that's really been my experience with those things, which leads me to want to talk about the difference I personally see in ways to cope. So just like a lot of different things, people can tend to lean towards cognition or they can tend to lean towards emotions and feelings. So a cognitive way to cope with stress would be doing things like journaling, doing research, talking through your feelings, going to see a therapist, things like that. And then on the other hand, the more emotion-focused aspect of coping would be doing things like self-care, like exercise, like watching your favorite show, spending time with your family, doing small small things that make you feel good. And I think the most important part of coping for anyone is going to be finding a correct balance in between this both cognitive and emotion focus dichotomy that I'm kind of explaining here. And I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that if you're doing these things that you see on Instagram or Pinterest and you're like, oh, I'm trying to relieve my stress, like, why is it not working? Like, maybe you just haven't tried the correct thing for your cognition or for your emotions just quite yet. You need both. And everyone's gonna be different. Maybe some people are gonna need one more than the other, right? So let's keep that in mind as well. And so let me delve in a little bit deeper into both sides and how I kind of like spin them into fitting my needs. So for my cognitive coping needs, my favorite thing to do as of lately has been journaling and writing and working through my emotions on a page. So why does this work for me? Essentially, when I'm writing on a page, I see that the page ends. I know that I'm going to have to get to a conclusion. And why don't I just think my thoughts instead of putting them down on a paper? Well, I feel like whenever I'm thinking and whenever anyone thinks, it's kind of easy to get into this loop. However, writing gives you this structure. It gives you this piece of paper of physically like letting each phrase and thought go. Each time that you move on to the next line, you're physically letting that thought go from your mind onto the paper. And that I feel like is a really, really powerful metaphor for physically letting go of those fears and thoughts and worries that you may be having or working through in your paper. And as well, like I was saying with that end point, you know that you're coming towards the end, and what's at the end? There's gonna be a conclusion, there's gonna be a so what. And that kind of like idea of an end, of a conclusion, can bring you so much peace. It can bring you so much balance in your head. We like when things end. As humans, we like when things have a resolution. And so being able to feed yourself that, I've found to be exceptionally helpful. Now on the other side, regarding emotions, my favorite thing I've been doing as of lately is writing poetry. I've been dancing, I've been drawing, I've been coloring, I've been getting creative. And those things make me feel good. I feel like I'm expressing my emotions. I feel like I'm completing a task that's positively contributing to my state of well-being. And truthfully, I don't have any sort of negative emotions attached to any of these things. Like when I exercise, a lot of the time I get frustrated because I'm like, like I don't have, this perfect body that I wish I had. But that's because of my personal relationship with my body and myself and with exercise in general. Yeah, sure, I do try to keep a positive mind and be like, yeah, exercise helps me stress relief in some way because I do feel proud of myself at the end. But I do also acknowledge that I do have those negative thoughts, and my relationship with my body and with exercise in general isn't totally ideal. So I'm not gonna see exercise as just stress relief because it does have some stress attached to it already. So that's why things like writing poetry, like drawing, like coloring, those things, they just help me. There's nothing attached to them. They're not attached to an end goal. And so because the idea of these things is so isolated in my head, that's why I feel stress relief while doing it. And so with both of these things, I've been able to develop and establish some inner peace in times like this of just so much stress. And so lastly here, I think I want to touch on some misconceptions of stress relief other than the ones that we've kind of already talked about portrayed by the media. So I think in general, a lot of people kind of feel intrigued by the idea that stress relief is just something that you can get over and done with quickly. Stress relief isn't supposed to be something easy. It's not supposed to be something that's like one and done. Stress is something that we are going to be going through even after this whole COVID situation. One door closes, another one opens. That's just how it is. And that can be frustrating, but of course, like the reason that we're having this talk right now is so that we can learn and become a little bit more aware of some new perspectives of how to effectively and efficiently cope in the long run. So there's hope. Don't you worry, it's okay. But yeah, because some people lean towards the idea that stress relief is something that can be like one and done real quick, let me just light a candle, walk away and my stress is gone, or just like, let me watch this show, oh, I did self-care, okay, I'm good. I think people tend to like give up because they see their efforts not working, they're not being effective, they still feel upset. But in these situations, what's most important to remember is just that everything is a process, and if something that you've been trying in the past isn't working anymore, or if something that you've been doing in the past hasn't ever worked, stop doing it. Try something new. Every single day is an opportunity for you to try a new way to be happy. And you can absolutely do it. Step one is believing in yourself. And with that, another misconception that I think is just, not good about coping and about stress relief is that you can just shut it off. You can just shut away your stress. I do want to say that may work for you momentarily. For a moment, you may be able to refocus on something else and push through life to a certain point. But I've got to say, it definitely does not feel good to feel feel unresolved inside, if there's something that you're putting away, the only person that you're hurting is yourself. And this isn't to target anyone or to say that you've been coping in your life wrong. It's just to encourage you to try to open up your mind to trying new things and to not shut away your fears and worries. Sure, like I said, this COVID situation is gonna go away soon and eventually it won't have to be a worry anymore. But the thing is, problems don't end, they don't stop. So even if you do outrun one entity that's causing you stress, there's gonna be another one in the future. And I want you to know that you're not alone in dealing with anything. Everybody fights their own battles. And if at any point in your life you feel like you don't have a motivation to fight your own battle, I totally understand that. I know I've been there several times in my life. Try to shift your focus and remember all the people that are a part of your life that you may want to fight for. You know, that could be your family, your friends, your dog, your fish. That's certainly what's helped me, because sometimes it's hard to believe that we want to fight for ourselves. And I've even heard before that you should fight for your future self. But I think anything that has to do with self can be hard if you're a little bit not very self-confident like me. So that's why I say shift your focus outwards, think about other people, other things in life that you may affect, and how you are pivotal and so important in the conservation and perseverance of those other things. So just to recap, do not think that you can get rid of your stress very quickly. It's a process, but you can totally do it, and I totally believe in you. And 2,
conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold me back anymore.
okay, that's it, bye! Just kidding. So yeah, to recap, there's 2 different types of coping that I have found. There's cognitive, affective, or emotional. Find a balance between the 2. Find what works for you. Try new things. Don't give up. You got this. Reach out to me if you need help with anything. I give decent advice. And back to old me. Okay, well that's absolutely all I have to say for this video. I do hope you liked it. My name has been Val. It has been since I was born. I hope you enjoyed this video of me doing my hair and exploring the idea of coping. I wonder, if anything that I said may have helped you or maybe given you a new or better perspective on coping and stress management. Let me know in the comments if it did. I would love to know. If you stayed the whole time, I do want to say thank you so much. I know that this is a very different topic. I don't usually get super duper serious like this, but I am really glad that I did it today because I feel like it was for a good cause. Drink water, fuel your body. I love you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Friday with another chit chat video. Bye!